Yes.
Why would you want to be in do marketing for Parks and Recreation departments?
It's probably the most fun job you could ever have.
Tell us.
Like, if I'm ever frustrated at my job, I can literally go to a park and making content. I can highlight the amenities that we have, and I get to like talk to constituents of like what makes your city better. So it's like a marketing like intern or communications intern. Something that's going to be so fun is like building out that content, building up your portfolio, and really getting to like talk to the people who make your parks great every single day.
Yeah.
It's just so vast and so different every single day. It's just a good opportunity to learn a lot.
Yeah.
For directors, I think that you should really trust your marketers and trust your communication folks.
What she's saying is give them a bigger budget and do anything they want to do.
Maybe you didn't hear that from me.
And so how is it dealing with the community, or what's maybe some of the funny stories you've had dealing with the community?
I oversee an 18-hole golf course in my current job, and people are very particular of how they like that to look, which totally understand. It needs to look a certain way. I understand that. Well, hot and dry spells, you gotta irrigate, and sometimes that requires hand watering. So I have a fantastic crew, and I was out on the course with them one day. They were telling me that a group of golfers had called, and this was our like weekly league, and said, the water is on hole 14, and we are trying to golf, and it needs to be turned off. We are getting wet. Blah, blah, blah. So the shop calls the maintenance crew, and they go out and turn it off. I'm out on the course with them, sitting in a golf cart. We have 2 golf carts out there, and we were looking at a project, and we were sitting discussing, and these 2 carts drive by with golfers in the same league, and they were like, it's getting hot and dry out here, we need water. And it's like an hour ago you guys were berating the staff at the desk because the water was on, but now we need water because it's hot and dry. So sometimes there's just no winning.
So what value do you get out of, let's say you're talking to a director that maybe hasn't attended the annual convention. What kind of value would you say this is for them?
The main thing is networking, because you can learn all the different things that are going on in the state through Parks and Recreation, how Owensboro does it, how Corbin does it, how Lexington does it. There's so many different programs, but you can take those programs and implement them in your city a lot of times.
Yeah. So essentially, you're not wanting to reinvent the wheel.
No.
If there's chances are someone else has faced the same issue.
Yes.
And you can come and find the best solutions.
And when I first started in the parks, I networked. Hey, what are you doing here? What are you doing over there?
Yeah.
And it just helps because, like you said, you don't reinvent the wheel. You just borrow from them.
Why should a vendor come here? Why should a city come to these conventions?
I'll give you one reason. One reason is the people here are the leaders in the industry, and they impact a ton of people. I mean, their programs touch probably 50% of the families in a city.
Wow.
And so when you come here and you help them, you can make big impact.
I'll give you two completely opposite perspectives. And the first one is come and see what you can gain. Now, some people come expecting the entire experience to be just a flood of wealth and knowledge. And typically, anytime I go to a conference, that's just not realistic. But if I get one nugget that changes my life or my approach or it can make a big impact in my life, my operation, my business. So that's the first thing is don't expect it to change your life in a billion ways, but go to these things looking for that one thing that can make a big difference for you, your community, your programs, yourself, right? The other thing though is come to these things and see what you can give. Because there's a lot of young, new people in this industry that need some good mentorship. Maybe they use technology better than you do and whatnot, but you could come and give them some of that old school advice. Or maybe you're one of those young bucks and you're like, I don't want to go hang out with the old, come and help the old people adapt to some technology, right? There is a community here. What you can gain and the value you can draw from these, I think if you come with the right attitude, you just be phenomenal.
I think one of the funniest things I experienced there, I had a city council woman, a businesswoman, want to know why we couldn't renovate an old facility at a new location. And that really clued me into, I know. I just had to look at her and blink.
We're going to take a coffee break on that one.
Ms., what are the passions and values that embody Parks and Recreation?
You know, I think that can be a very personal question. If you talk about a department, they all have vision and mission statements. But they all boil down to they want to serve the community. So I think for an individual, they have to find their reason why, what makes it important to them. And I've said for a long time that Parks and Rec is not just a career. It really is a passion and a calling, because you're doing programs so that your community can make memories with their families.